Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Josh, you might know me as Prince of Biltan on the internet, and I'm back with my second video. But before I get into this one, I just want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in to my first video on the channel and has liked and subscribed, because for tiny videos like this that means an awful lot. So thank you so much for everyone who's gotten on board and showed some awesome support and comments on the first video. I really appreciated it, so thank you. But now we're back, and I'm going to do a second one. In this video I'm going to be looking at some of the new Tyranid models. Now, like last time, I've got an advanced copy of some of them from Games Workshop, so as usual, thank you very much. And I thought this one is just going to be a little more chill. I'm going to chat with you a little bit about some of the things I enjoy about the Tyranids, how I approach, or my approach to them in the hobby, and the lore, and I'm just going to show you some of the cool new stuff, right? That's what we want to see. Awesome, cool. Well, in that case, I'll see you again at the hobby desk, and I'll be right back. Okay, and here we are at the hobby desk. So we've got everything we need. We've got some clippers. We've got a sharp knife. You know what, we don't have everything we need. We don't have any glue. I can fix that. We got that right here. Now, we've also got this new Tyranid kit. As I mentioned, from Games Workshop, this is the new Tyranid Lictor. This comes in quite a big box, I will say. It comes in like a box about the size of like a regular unit. I was really surprised to see that. And it looks like on the box we have a variant pose and a regular pose. I'm not sure if there are going to be any more poses, so that's what I'm really interested to check out when we open it up. And then, most importantly, I've got my cup of coffee, because that's what we need at this time in the morning. Cool. Right, let's crack this open. So I am a new Tyranid player. I've been in the 40k hobby for a little while, and I've enjoyed Tyranids. I enjoy the concept of Tyranids, but not all of the model kits, I believe, have really captured them for me. Like the cosmic horror element that's really conveyed excellently in the lore hasn't always came across so well in the miniatures for me, and I think that's just because some of them of their age, and I'm really glad that we're getting like the technology to see these creatures in all of their horror beautifully rendered now. So let's get a good look at this. So inside the box we have our instruction manual, which is quite big. We have 2 frames, which is surprising actually, because we've got quite a big instruction book for 2 frames. And then we have our base. Now this looks like a 50mm base. Let me just figure out if I've got anything nearby to compare it to. Yeah, I've got... So I've got an Ophidian Destroyer from my Necron collection. It's going to be very hard to see because he's very rusty and very dark. But he's on a 50mm. And yeah, look at that. So 50mm base for the Lictor. Cool. So let's investigate those poses. Yeah, okay, so it does actually look like we have a third pose. This isn't one that I've seen a studio version of from Games Workshop, but there we go. We've got the box art pose there. There's number 1. We've got like the skulking pose. You see the one that's painted in red here, and the Hive Fleet Behemoth scheme. There's number 2, but then we've got number 3, which kind of has a bit of both in it. It's kind of the skulking pose with the head of the first one, and like the scything talons upwards. I quite like that one, to be honest. Knowing what leapers are the sorry, I keep calling them leapers. I suppose it's the Death Leaper, that's why. Lictors are the advance force of the Tyranid invasion. So the Lictor is usually one of the first organisms that you'll find on a planet, and its purpose is to be there to report back, to learn everything it can, and deliver this information to the Hive fleet. They do this in incredibly terrifying ways. So as you can see, if we have a look at the sprue a little bit, we have these feeder tendrils which look like the proboscis of an insect. With this, the Lictor is able to literally devour the brain of their victim and learn everything they know. So if you're thinking about an imperial hive world, you're thinking about the Lictor coming along, consuming a guard at an outpost. The Lictor now knows the access codes to the building. The Lictor can put in the access code to the building, and then the Lictor enters. That's kind of like the scariest bit. In fact, I'm going to talk to you more about that one. So yeah, this is where we discover that Josh knows an awful lot about Lictors. So as I mentioned, Lictors are the advance force of the Tyranid army. Now, what that means is that you'll find Lictors on a planet long before the main invasion fleet ever gets there. So the Hive fleet will be, maybe entering into the galaxy, or maybe a bit of distance away from the actual target planet, but the Lictors may already be there. And their job is to watch the populace. It's to learn as much as they can and communicate that back to the Hive fleet. They do this using the really, really awful means. It is real nightmare fuel. So the Lictors basically have these feeder tendrils, which are the bits that you see on the model that I'll show you right now. And these things basically, they're able to push them into the brains of their victims, almost like some kind of eldritch monstrosity, or some kind of a mind flayer for everyone who's currently playing Baldur's Gate at the moment, myself included. So once the Lictor has done that, it's consumed the brain of its host. It knows everything the host knew, which means if the Lictor attacks a guard outpost and consumes the guard there, it knows the access codes for the guard outpost, and it's able to enter into the civilization by sneaking through that way, and it doesn't need to use espionage because it knows all the codes. Similarly, it knows the shifts that the guards go on. It knows basically where the defenses are, and it can break them, it can sabotage them, and that's what makes them really cool. They are an independent, more or less fighting organism that comes in ahead of the Tyranid force and really pins their opponent in place. You're not able to call for help. You're not able to do anything about it. You've got a stalking, invisible predator chasing you through your own base, which is just really cool, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to get this kit built up, and I haven't quite decided which pose we're going to go for. I'm thinking it's either 1 or 3. Don't know what you guys think. Why not comment and tell me which pose is your favourite? We'll see at the end of the video what I went up with, and we'll see who ends up being right. You'll get 1 point for being right. That's what you'll get. So I'm going to come back at the end with 1 built Lictor. So it looks like here we've got a couple of sets of legs. Just here. We've got a couple of head options. Now these heads are split in 2. It looks like we have the base kind of crown here, and then the actual parts split in 2 here. The talons look quite similar. I think maybe the same ones. It just depends on the kind of lower sections as to how they're pointing, and a bunch of gribbly arms and tiny little spikes. So I will get right on that. Alright, well then, I'll see you after the build. And welcome back to the hobby bench. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you might notice that my paints have gone up here. That's because I'm moving. In between starting to film this video and picking this up, yeah, I'm actually going to be moving to a new hobby space. So there's been a bit of a gap between this, but through the marvel of video editing, it will seem like no time has passed at all. So we are back and we have completed our build of the Lictor. So for whoever of you guys guessed that I would go for pose number 1, congratulations, you have earned your 1 point. It's an awesome model. I really love it. The scale is very menacing. The pose is really impactful, I feel like. The lower arms being slightly at ease, you know, gives the impression that this monster isn't in a combat scene. It's surveying the environment. It might be picking out prey of its own, like it doesn't seem threatened, which I think is a very, very cool like design nod. So that's one of my favourite things about it. One of my second favourite things, I've decided to grab out one of my Von Ryan's Leapers. So this one's a work in progress that I'm painting for my Tyranid collection. This one is going, so my Tyranids are going to be painted in the theme of Hive Fleet Kraken, which is basically just how the Tyranids were painted when I was a kid in White Dwarf magazine. So I really, really enjoy this classic Tyranid scheme. If this is something that you enjoy or you'd like to see how I paint my Tyranids, do let me know and I'll try to make a video on it. But the reason I've got the Von Ryan's Leaper out is, as you can see, we've got a heck of a difference between the two. Like the new Leaper is, at least say maybe a time and a half bigger than the Von Ryan's Leapers, and what I enjoy about that is that if you want to theme your collection around the kind of Leaper assault or the preliminary assault on a planet, you could very easily have plenty of these Von Ryan's Leapers as your troops, as it were, and then the regular Lictor as more of an imposing force in your collection. So that is the build for the Lictor. More Tyranids absolutely to come. I'm having a lot of fun with this army, and granted I've not actually painted much like the Tyranids, so I'm enjoying getting to grips with them. The new Gribbly sculpts are amazing. I'll thank Games Workshop again for sending me an advance copy of the Lictor. Maybe in an update video I'll have some paint on it. But as for you guys, what do you think? You know, I'm interested to hear what you guys think about the new Tyranid models. I'm happy to always hash it up in the comments, so if you guys want to get a little bit of a chat going on, I'm always happy to talk hobby. The next video will be coming from my new hobby space. That is why this shot is so zoomed in, by the way. It's because outside of this is complete chaos. And not in like a 13th Black Crusade kind of way, in like a I've got 13 days to get out of my apartment kind of way. So, with that, I think I missed this out from the last video, but please, if you enjoyed the video, do like it. That helps very, very tiny channels like mine a lot. Leave a comment if you'd like to have a chat with me, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos. So, for now, this has been Josh, Fresh Prince of Biltan, and I will see you in the next one. Take care now.